Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. The AT4 is an 84mm unguided anti-armor weapon manufactured by Saab Boford Dynamics. It is effective in assaulting tanks and combat vehicles, landing craft, helicopter, aircraft, and armored vehicles. Like the Carl Gustaf, the AT4 is a recoilless weapon that delivers an 84mm round. However, the AT4 is designed for a single use, with each unit coming complete with an inbuilt round. Options include anti-armor, anti-structure, anti-personnel, and high-explosive rounds. Made from quality, lightweight materials, members of the AT4 family are robust and reliable, and yet can be discarded more immediately after use, allowing the user to more rapidly take cover and avoid enemy return fire. As a disposable system, the AT4 has no maintenance requirements. The AT4 also provides a major advantage in the form of confined space capability. While the majority of Carl Gustaf rounds should not be fired in a confined space due to the backblast, the use of a seawater countermass in the AT4 allows it to be used in closed rooms and close to walls without harm to the operator or those around him. Because it is lightweight and affordable, the AT4 can be distributed to a large proportion of troops on the ground. When the enemy is encountered, multiple weapons can be fired simultaneously, unleashing devastating firepower. More than 1 million AT4 systems have been produced and delivered to 15 countries worldwide, proof of the weapon's effectiveness and the trust nations place in the system. Saab's AT4 system is one of the most successful anti-armor weapon systems, which can be used against a wide area of targets. Here are some interesting facts about AT4 that you may not already know. AT4 anti-tank missile system development. The AT4 anti-armor weapon was developed from the 74mm Panzer M68 weapon that the Swedish Army adopted in the 1960s. The AT4 was designed by Forsvarets Fabriksverk (FFV), which has tested more than 100 weapons by early 1982 with the help of the Swedish Army. In 1982, the AT4 was introduced into the US Army before the weapon was adopted by Sweden. The US Army tested 6 different weapons in 1983 and found that the FFV AT4 met all the requirements needed to replace its M72 Law weapon. The US Army adopted AT4 as the lightweight multi-purpose weapon M136 after altering the weapon's launch to bumpers, sights, and slings. The Swedish Army also adopted the Americanized version. AT4 anti-tank missile orders and deliveries. In November 2010, Saab received a €15 million order from the French Defense Forces for the light anti-tank weapon AT4 confined space, a variant of the AT4. In April 2011, Saab received a $17 million order from an unknown customer to deliver the AT4 CS-RS version during 2012. Saab secured a contract worth $38.02 million from the French Defense Procurement Agency for the supply of Rocket Nouvelle Generation Shoulder Launch Weapon System, which is part of the AT4 CS family, for the French Army in December 2014. Saab secured an order from an undisclosed customer for AT4 CS-ER Extended Range and the AT4 CS-HP High Penetration, with deliveries scheduled for 2018. The US Army placed a $13.4 million order for the AT4 CS-RS weapon systems in October 2017, with deliveries scheduled for 2019. It placed another order worth $50 million for AT4 CS additional units in July 2018. Nearly 600,000 AT4s have been delivered to the US military to date. The AT4 missile system operation. Saab Bofors has used many design features of Carl Gustaf while developing the AT4. A large amount of ammunition can be fired from AT4 as the weapon is recoilless. Aiming at the target with the AT4 is accomplished through range-adjustable plastic sights, which can be covered up under the sliding covers. The weapon carries an optical night sight. Armor capabilities. The AT4 warhead can penetrate more than 17.5 inches of armor plate. The weapon covers a minimum arming distance of 10 meters, which makes it more accurate in targeting short-distance targets. Wooden structures, even if they are heavy timbered, cannot offer any resistance to AT4. The weapon can create a hole in armored vehicles. The AT4 warhead is still undergoing many typical tests in urban targets. Projectiles. AT4 is a one-shot weapon that has different projectiles, including heat, high-explosive anti-tank, AST, anti-structure tandem warheads, ER, HE, high-explosive, HP, and RS, reduced sensitivity. The projectiles are preloaded into the launcher. The high-explosive anti-tank projectile can penetrate up to 420 millimeters of rolled homogeneous armor. Saab Bofors has used many design features of Carl Gustav while developing the AT4. The high-explosive dual purpose can be used against buildings and bunkers, and the projectile can also be used to detonate on impact or with a delayed detonation. The HEDP 502 projectile can penetrate up to 150 millimeters of RHA. The high-penetration projectile has extra penetration ability, which enables it to pass through 500 millimeters to 600 millimeters of RHA. The AST warheads are specifically designed for meeting the urban warfare. The AT8 is a new projectile developed for bursting bunkers, and AT12 is another modern 130mm frontal engagement version projectile, which can penetrate frontal armor of any modern battle tank, MBT. MP4 variants. The disadvantage of AT4 is that it develops a large backblast behind the weapon, which may harm the operator of the weapon and friendly forces within the vicinity. It therefore becomes difficult to use the weapon in restricted areas. In order to combat the backblast difficulty, a new variant called AT4CS, Confined Space, has been introduced to specifically meet urban warfare requirements. AT4CS uses saltwater countermass, which absorbs the backblast and slows down the pressure wave. It is 914.4 millimeters long and weighs 7.5 kilograms. It can be used against targets up to 274 meters. The AT4CS is available with two types of warheads, namely HP and RS. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss our new content. We'll see you in the next one.